What will the future of the fintech industry look like? In the space of a decade, technological leaps have dramatically transformed our financial lives. What's next for the fintech industry? Let's find out. Alex Alexandrov, Coin Payments. Alexander Borodich, Universa.
Pleasure. All right. No curator? Awesome.
We are
How's everyone
moderating
doing?
our own session.
Yeah, I think so. And this is kind of cool. What should we talk about?
Future of fintech industry.
All right.
There is no future for fintech industry.
That's very true.
All right, that's it. We're good.
Who here knows about Bitcoin? Show of hands? No? Anybody?
Someone.
Sweet. So we can skip that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ethereum. Oh, yeah, no, for sure. So the future of fintech, I guess, should we seriously don't just jump into it?
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. My personal opinion is we're going to the world of tokenization right now, and it's happening around the globe. So essentially, anything from STOs to ICOs. The ICO market's definitely, at this point, is seeing its days. But with the regulations coming out of the United States, I think it might pick up again. I'm not sure if in the next wave, Ethereum will hold the same power in the ICO market as it did. I think like a lot of the steam was kind of sucked out of it when the last market crash occurred in the ICO market. And there's a lot of new contenders like EOS, coming out to supply that. And then likewise, there's Neo, and there's a bunch of other coins that are coming out to try to do similar tasks in native blockchains like Tezos and things like that. So yeah, we'll see a little shift next time, but I think there's going to be another day for an ICO. It's not completely dead yet. But I do think everything's going to get tokenized pretty quickly here.
But what about the future of money?
Future of money is a...
Is it still Bitcoin Ether?
I don't think so.
Don't think so.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
In my opinion, definitely not.
But
it's too slow. There's too many problems. Everything you actually said, I completely agree with you.
thank you very much.
100%. Yeah, it's definitely centralized beyond what the original design ever intended, in my opinion. Lightning solution for the network sort of addresses some issues, but it creates a bunch of new ones. So it's like you fix one problem by creating a bunch of new ones. I don't know if that's a good idea. Sooner or later, we're going to have to transition into better form of programmable money.
But let's try to actually create here at stage the ideal future money, what it might look like.
The ideal future of money is a blockchain that learns from itself and writes its own code. Something that human cannot write because it shouldn't. It should be just created and ran by artificial intuition. It should be something that's robust, has its own receptacles, understand its own environment, tailor itself to the needs of everybody who is on the network trying to do smart contracts, sends, receives. I mean, if we're really going to go future of money, let's go future of money, right? Like AI.
But it's about technology, but the nature of payment, what should it be? Should it represent our working time, lifetime? Can we tokenize the life? Can we tokenize the resources? What should be air? We are actually...
I feel like they've already tokenized lives with Facebook. Like, we just don't get a cut of it. They're just kind of like taking it away from us. But yeah, everything can be tokenized. I mean, there's a project trying to tokenize air on Amazon right now, which I think is kind of funny, but they're trying. So at this point, what else is left? Oddly enough, I've heard of a project that's trying to tokenize human organs. It's just kind of dark.
That's weird.
Yeah, but it's a necessity, right? So it makes sense.
I think actually we are getting to the same technological wave as we did with the internet. Before, actually, when internet started, if you remember, it was like a Telnet Gopher protocol. There was no such thing as HTTP, and there is no such thing as browser. Mm-hmm. And it was enormously weird to use it. It was like a text-based interface. The whole internet was like 200 websites. But then it was the browser who was created, and then now we know the internet as it is. The mass adoption came from that. So probably we are now at the stage when the blockchain is a new internet, but the browser has not yet been created. So probably someone should, guys, please, invent this blockchain browser, which should be something as unique,
Yep.
universal wallet.
For sure. Yeah, the killer app hasn't happened yet, in
Yeah.
my opinion. I
We don't have it.
No.
But we should have it because it should be something which will allow you to exchange from any person to any company among the world, any type of tokens, more or less without commission,
Yep.
any type of that, let's call it money,
Yeah.
automated with artificial intelligence, with all that stuff. We know currently, I think technically it's possible to create this stuff, but someone should be very, very courage to create it.
Yeah, I think the final result of money should be frictionless society in which anybody can spend whatever they have and the receiver should receive whatever they want. And it should happen seamlessly, automatically, without having to educate people or deal with anything. There needs to be a unifying system that sort of enables all the coins to live in the same ecosystem. Because right now you got to have one wallet over there, one wallet over there. People trust exchanges because it's just a convenience. It's just like Binance. So many people keep their coins.
And they do not trust exchanges at the same time.
Exactly. So it's just how ludicrous is that, right? You kind of contradict yourself by doing it, but you have no choice because if you want to catch the market, you have to leave the order books there because you can't really participate and not participate at the same time. There's no other option, right? So people take that risk willingly and at the same time can't sleep at night, which is terrible. So we haven't really solved fundamental problems with crypto, of decentralization at the very least. That hasn't really occurred. We had the first attempt of decentralization with Bitcoin, where the idea was, miners mining with their CPUs, then it went into GPUs, and then, just kind of become a pyramid. And now there's 3 mining pools, 4 mining pools that are
still centralized.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's just back to the same thing, right? So, and then the holders, same thing. The more and more people holding more Bitcoins, right? And it was supposed to be something distributed and evenly spread out. And then on top of that, now we have exchanges. There's 4 major ones that control most of the cold storage coins that are kept there. And then you have to trust them to be there tomorrow if you're going to trade on it. It's crazy. It's actually crazy.
But anyway, that your concept of universal money will contradict with the monetary policy of central banks and the role of states, of governments.
Right.
Because you cannot unify it among the continents. We still have governments, we still have countries.
Right. Well, if you create a layer in which anything can be containerized, then it shouldn't be a problem. If you could find a system in which you can containerize existing assets and give a digital representation, kind of like with the files you can do on a computer, you can verify MD5 hash of anything that's on your computer, right? What if you could do something like that with digital money that's in your bank, with gold, with silver, with ERC20 tokens that are out there already, with NEO
Any
tokens?
kind of assets.
Anything, right? You should be able to then seamlessly transport it along the same protocol without having to be part of that protocol. And I think that kind of glue that needs to exist, because that could create real DEX, that could create real marketplace, that could create real seamless transactions across the whole network for everybody. But there's a lot to be said about how could that be achieved, but that's
what we are trying to do at the university.
Yeah.
Okay, but does it mean that the retail banks are not needed in this scheme? Because what their role would be?
So the future of money, in my opinion, for banks looks like for video rental stores. Sooner or later, people are not going to wait in line to get their money, right? It's a stupid idea. Just like nobody wants to wait to rent a VHS long time ago, right? I think it's going the exact same way as Netflix. It's always going to be streamed. It's all going to be online.
Blockbuster.
Accessible. Yeah, because nobody wants to wait anymore, for anything. Especially, have you tried to send a wire lately? Anyone here? Across, to another country? Holy crap. They will just kill you with questions, and, you basically wonder why they even ask you this question. Where's this money for? Who are you spending it to? What is it? Who are these people on the other end? Where'd you got this money? It's you've been keeping it for months in this account, and they're, as soon as you try to pull it out, they just bombard you with those retarded questions. So, I don't know. I think that needs to end, because another biggest thing, actually, on the subject is the sanctions countries and sanction list. If you want to look at, the countries that are continuously getting abused, they're all basically on sanction list. And I personally disagree with that whole concept. I think it's crazy, right? That people have that kind of power to just punish a country population by disconnecting them from money circulation, and then they literally suffer just because they try to prove a point to like 5 guys at the top. Like, it's insane to me. Like, just go after those dudes. Like, go duke it out between each other. Like, why are you punishing the whole country? It's crazy. But they do it, and they'll never stop. The only way they'll stop is if you basically, you're never going to change their system, but give them something that replaces it, and then they can't control. And I think you can liberate continents like Africa, Libya, Syria, all those places that just completely, Venezuela right now as well, they're just being sanctioned for no reason, in my opinion. Yeah. So
Does it mean that blockchain from one hand can solve it? Because it's decentralized, but from other hand, the same guy will try to block the whole blockchain. I don't know how it make it,
you can try.
You can try, but
China hasn't succeeded in it,
yeah.
and I'm sure they've tried. They're kind of really good at blocking things at this point. There's always going to be a way around. These packets are pretty small. There's lots of different protocols. You should be able to get around. I've even seen ideas come out to use RF radio to transmit transactions over the internet, like dead zones, where there's no internet, so you basically can't.
So we just need to launch the satellites. Our own satellites, blockchain satellites.
Well, we could, but we could also work with companies that are already doing it, because a lot of them do have empty space that are not being used, and they'll gladly rent it out for now. So we can start,
Because if we will transmit the signal not through the internet, but through the space,
right,
from one place to another.
Yeah, shortwave radio, it'll bounce around.
It cannot be stopped at all.
Exactly, and I like that. So one of the projects I heard recently was Sonocoin. They were trying to do that with audio waves being sent around. I don't know if they took off with the ICO or not, but the idea was actually really cool. And then I like the concept of sending containers of any crypto using RF radio, because then you just have to get a license to operate a radio, ham radio, whatever license, and then you can be a node on the network, not using internet. That protects you from filtering, from being blacklisted, and all kinds of things, right? You still can be part of the economy. And the nice thing about it is when you're receiving it, nobody knows where you are physically, only the transmitter.
So our own decentralized space blockchain, unifying technological glue to any
That's just one of ideas.
No banks, full freedom for everyone.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the future of fintech, guys.
Awesome. That was like the weirdest panel, but awesome at the same time. I love it. Yeah. Cheers.